Well, my story is a story of pain, that's for sure, but it has to do with the church. And when I was probably about 22, I got saved and joined a church, a conservative denomination, which I liked, high view of Scripture. And then when I was 23, I got married. And shortly after I got married, my wife is pregnant and we had our first child. She then got a disease. It was an autoimmune disease that caused her own immune system to begin killing her own brain. And with the MRIs that we had done, you could see that the front lobe of the brain was being killed progressively as it went back, which caused her to become psychotic. And she was not in very good shape physically or mentally, and was institutionalized in the psych ward at Halifax. The first time, the second time, and the third time, and then the fourth time. The fourth time she didn't come home. The fourth time she took off, and it's a real shame, but she abandoned me, she abandoned our son, she abandoned the marriage, and there's not much I can do about that. But after she was gone, all the neighbors came to me and told me the story that every day when I was gone at work, she would go out and go to a local mall or parking lot or something like that and pick up men to bring back to our home. Wow. Then I also learned that through the hospital that she had abused our son. And so here I am, I'm left with the loss of my wife, I'm left with the loss of her income, I'm left with a son who I then have to care for alone, and a son who needs a lot of care. Pretty remarkable for a 24-year-old. There's a lot of 24-year-olds in our church, and you can just try to imagine being in that situation. Obviously an awful lot of pain, but the long-lasting pain really came from the way that the church treated me. You see, I feel a call to the ministry, but I was told that if you read what Paul wrote to Timothy and Titus, it gives the qualifications of an elder. And among the other qualifications, it says that he's the husband of but one wife. That's the way it's most commonly translated into English. And that was interpreted in that denomination as you can't be divorced. So technically, I was divorced. When you think about the situation, you see there's literally nothing I could have done more than what I've done. And she literally qualified both of the reasons for divorce that are in the New Testament, and that's adultery and abandonment. But yet, check the box, I'm divorced, and so I can't serve. And I always felt like a second-class Christian, a second-class citizen in my church. And I just kind of carried this scarlet D on my chest, if you know what I mean. Went years like that, many years. And I did everything that I possibly could in the church. But finally just decided I'm going to go to Bible college. And so in Bible college, I found it very interesting as I talked to a seminary professor that I met there, who explained to me what those passages meant, the husband of but one wife. He explained that the whole list of qualifications is a list of qualities of the heart, and that in the original Greek, what that literally means is that you're a one-woman man. Well, I'm absolutely a one-woman man. I've never cheated. I don't struggle in that area. I'm as dedicated as you can imagine. And I asked him, what do you think about, not being able to serve because you have a divorce in your background? And he said, well, that's ridiculous. So then I went around town to my own denomination and talked to a bunch of different pastors, 5 of them, 4 of them with PhDs in ministry, and I asked them what that meant. All of them, unsolicited, told me the exact same thing. And so I said, well then, why does our denomination prevent people from going into ministry if they have a previous divorce? And they said, oh, yeah, I'm not going to fight that battle. And what it really came down to was politics. I have a particular disdain for politics, quite frankly. because politics doesn't embrace the truth. So once I learned that, I believe I was set free. One of the things I was set free of was my former church, from that denomination, quite frankly. And I was so delighted to find a place like Oasis that understands that the Old Testament is a testament of performance. It's an if-then. If you do good, you get good. If you do bad, you get bad. That's the Old Testament. But the New Testament is a testament of grace. It's a testament of faith in the finished work of Jesus Christ. And with that, the only thing that matters is, who are you now? You can have a history. You can have failure in your history. In this instance, it wasn't my failure. But you can still have failure in your history. And you're still loved, you're still embraced, you're still unconditionally accepted by the God who created you. And so to this day, my ministry is all about helping people to know the real God, the difference between the love of God and the covenant of grace that we are under, and some sort of religion. This town, this county, this state, this nation, this world is just full of religion everywhere I look. And that's what causes so much pain in people's lives. So in a way, I guess I could say that I'm fortunate that I had to endure such pain, because today I get to help to set people free.